We rolling yet?
Yeah, we are.
Excellent. Welcome to We Lied to You News. We have a pipe bombshell of a report about January 6th. Ever hear of it? There are major implications of authorities being involved in domestic terrorism and an attempt to cover it up. Let's get into it. On January 6th, there was a pipe bomber who, golly, we just haven't been able to find until now. A woman who was a Capitol police officer at the time came back as a forensic match to the pipe bomber, according to a shocking report published by The Blaze. The alleged suspect is Shani Kirchhoff, who has since left the Capitol Police to work for the CIA. Which seems pretty fitting, all things considered. It's also alleged that once the FBI got too close to finding her in their investigation, they were called off. Later on January 6th, Shani, whatever her name is, was reportedly one of the first to start taking headshots at people in the January 6th crowd with rubber bullets, which is something you're not supposed to do. But a retired Army Special Forces operative says, if you really want to start a riot, shoot them in the head. And that's what she did. Now, what are called reality theorists say this looks like further evidence that January 6th was orchestrated to sort of look like an insurrection, and this was part of the orchestration. And they tried to cover it up. But the 274 plainclothes FBI agents in the crowd that day have said there was no cover-up, and of course, I believe them. Here's what Congressman Thomas Massie says about the Capitol Police woman being discovered as the pipe bomber. This is the biggest scandal in my lifetime. Steve Baker did what an $11 billion agency, the FBI, could not do, or worse yet, covered up. He identified the January 6th bomber, and she wasn't working alone. Well, Congressman, if I had to bet, I think it's safe to say that the FBI will conclude she was working alone. Most criminals are these days. Thomas Massie goes on to say, FBI, CIA, and Capitol Hill Police Department are implicated in this story. Okay, let me correct myself. I would bet the FBI, CIA, and Capitol Police will all conclude she was working alone, which will be even more conclusive. It's crazy that some people think there was some kind of devious orchestration going on here. Accordingly, two BBC bosses have resigned in disgrace for being caught intentionally editing videos from January 6th to make Trump look like he was calling for an insurrection. Here's a clip of the doctored BBC footage. Take a look.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell.
Sure sounds like a call for an insurrection to me. And here's the original unedited clip. Take a look.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and we're gonna cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
I don't know. Is there any difference? President Trump thinks so, as he said he'll sue the BBC for over $1 billion unless they retract and apologize for the false and defamatory actions. But we can assure you the BBC is still a very credible news organization. Just take a look at this.
Now, transgender woman's milk is just as good for babies as breast milk.
It's fine, honest reporting by the BBC right there. In other news, the civil war between the pro-Israel conservatives, like Ben Shapiro, and the we've got some questions about the Israeli government conservatives, like Tucker Carlson, continues. Interestingly, a poll on some redheaded idiot's YouTube channel asked the audience simply, who do you trust more, Ben Shapiro or Tucker Carlson? As you can see, with 30,000 people weighing in, 23 came back in answering Ben Shapiro, and 77 came in as not being smart enough to know the right answer, according to Ben Shapiro. Looks like Mark Levin is gonna need to get angrier and yell louder to more effectively communicate and change people's minds, and make some more intelligent statements like this.
You're damn right we're gonna cancel them and deplatform them.
Well, say more. I appreciate the nuance, Mark.
We've got to take care of business. We can fight the enemy on the other side. But the problem is, the more daunting problem, the more complicated problem is, when they're in our house.
People do like to be screeched at with emotional hysteria. And in other news, congrats to Nancy Pelosi for her rather impressive stats she's accumulated. With her stock market trading sorcery, she has seen a nearly 17,000% return on her stock market investments, with a profit of $133 million. Truly Michael Jordan type stats, if Michael Jordan was 10 times better at basketball. Now, some have unfairly accused Nancy P of what's called insider trading. But as Nance has announced she won't be running for re-election in 2026, once she's out of office, you can assume she'll still be putting up these same world-leading stock market stats. And therefore, prove her critics wrong. That's it for today's news. Oh, and if you've been looking forward to the next Olympics, they'll have a bit of a twist, as only women will be allowed to compete in the women's category. This announcement comes from the Olympic Committee as they found scientific evidence of advantages to being born male. Truly some revolutionary science they've just discovered. Good night. Welcome to my studio workspace. I'm someone who always wants to reduce my inflammation, fight fatigue, have good energy, recover from injuries faster. That's why I always have my Bond Charge Supermax red light panel at my desk at all times. But now being 44 years old and being such a fan of red light's anti-aging effects on the skin, I want to show you my new secret weapon, Bond Charge's Red Light Face Mask. It's no secret, and the research is out there, red light has powerful anti-aging effects on the skin. And I'm someone, as I age, I want to do everything in my power to not look like I'm aging. So now every day while I'm at my computer doing some of my work, I put on my red light face mask for a 20-minute session. And since I've been using it to get the most direct benefit of red light onto my face, I very much can tell the difference. My skin looks and feels smoother, healthier, and younger. I usually don't wear this out in public, just here at home. And you too can control how you age. Just go to bondcharge.com/JP and grab your red light face mask today. And while you're there, use the discount code JP for 15% off everything Bond Charge offers. That's bondcharge.com/JP.